Hello everybody, welcome to Top Sub. I'm William Lebowski, and today we have an awesome video. We have reason to celebrate because we have accomplished the unthinkable, our first win in iRacing, and nonetheless starting from last place on the field. And on top of that, to compound it even more, it is in the USF2000, which has been a little bit of a bane of my existence, a thorn in my side ever since starting iRacing and getting out of the Mazda MX-5 Cup car in the Rookie League. It was in fact the where the Top Sim curse was developed. I would find myself in perfect position. I would move myself up the field. I would find myself in not even necessarily perfect position, but just good position to finish the race and have a good experience. And I would either wreck myself or get wrecked by somebody else, and it would be an incredibly frustrating experience. That kind of cycle not only led to creating what I call the Top Sim curse, which is just me ruining things for myself, or just a random AI / multiplayer experience of someone, ruining you. But it led to this kind of cycle where I was very, very, very frustrated with iRacing, and I couldn't get past this vicious cycle of you go in, you pay, you pay your fee, your yearly fee, you buy the content. You're here to race, you do the warm-up, you've spent about an hour, for this one race getting ready, you've done the qualifying, you're ready to go, and then going into turn one, someone takes you out. Someone decides not to brake with the rest of the field and plows right into the back of you. And so this experience kept building, and it kept happening to itself, and finally I was like, okay, iRacing just can't be worth it. And I let my subscription run out on iRacing. I even made, last month in June, a video saying, this is it for me in iRacing. It was my last iRacing video, I called it, to be so wrong. But I was so frustrating. I was fed up with the service. I was done. But there's just no denying that iRacing is by far the best platform when it comes to multiplayer racing, particularly when it comes to the pickup style of racing that you can get with iRacing, as opposed to the traditional league system that you have to join a whole racing league of people, follow their Discord and whatnot, live timings, etc. To get your race going, to get your league of group of guys going every Sunday or whatever it is that you guys decide to race. And so if you want to just, be able to find a race once an hour or whatever the schedule of the series that you're looking at is looking like, you have to go to iRacing. And quite frankly, I don't mean to say that in the sense of a monopolistic type of fashion. I don't mean that it's its only option, because there is a race room, there is other multiplayer racing experiences, but the best one is iRacing. There is some frustration, there is some troubles, there are some growing pains with the earlier leagues, with the rookie Class D, Class. I don't know about Class C yet. I've just tanked my Class D rating, exploring the wares of iRacing after getting out of rookies. Long point short, it just became this frustrating experience that I was like, I'm not going to do it. But when I did want to start taking my league racing more seriously, when I endurance racing more seriously, I realized I need more competition against other people. I need more practice straight up racing against other people. It doesn't have to be, in the same sim that I'm used to. It doesn't have to run on the same engine that I'm competing in. It doesn't have to be the same cars, same tracks. I just need experience battling other people for position. I just need the experience of, like the two cars in front of me that you're seeing now. I just need the experience of holding on to the car. And as you can see now, we are in first place. As you can tell by, the title and everything I've talked about already, you can tell we've already won. And so this was essentially 15 minutes. I guess the first 5 minutes I was, making my way through the field. So the last 10 minutes was how long can you hold on to this position. You can see right now we're starting with 2 seconds on the guy behind me, and that's kind of going to yo-yo in and out. But it really, really was an eye-opening experience for me to have this big buffer between me and second place, because it really showed me race pacing when it comes to motorsports. And I'm familiar with race pacing, but not when it comes to sim racing or motorsports, because I'm familiar with it from a cycling background. And it's a much different style of pacing when you have a man-powered machine versus when you have, you know, a gasoline, petrol, you know, machine that just does whatever you tell it to. You know, the difference being you're watching for wear in your car, in your sim machine. You're hoping that the maximum that you're putting through it isn't destroying, you know, the vehicle itself. Where, you know, with cycling, since you're putting that power down, you only have a limited amount. You can't refuel your body like you can refuel a gas tank. And so you're really counting your matches, so to say. You only have a certain amount of physical output that you can actually put through the bike. And so as a result, you know, the race pace will vary hugely during a race. And I don't mean a couple seconds per lap. We're talking about going, you know, being able to hammer things out at, you know, 25, 30 miles an hour as a race pace, to then jumping down to 20 miles an hour, then jumping down, you know, to the high teens, and then instantly shooting back up into the mid, you know, 20s, mid 30s. And we're talking about average pace. We're not just talking about, you know, mile per hour speed. We're talking about average pace for a lap. And so it's a very different experience when it comes to motorsports, because when you go to with motorsports, you know, as everybody here I'm sure, you know, knows, we're talking about tenths. We're talking about the ability to push your limits and the limits of the equipment and car in these turns and throughout the track. And so it's a bit of a different style of pacing. And so to really have that be made clear to me, how just backing off slightly to keep the safety aspect rolling in your car, just to make sure that you're not going to just lose your position, crashing yourself out, how much time that kind of will cost you, and what the cost of that safety is. And so now, if we check I'm checking the, you know, the lap timings. I'm checking all of the time left in the race, but we can see he has cut the gap down in half. We're down to 1 second, and we still have 8 minutes of racing left. And that was only 3 laps ago that I took the lead. So I'm realizing right now that it's not just getting to the front and coasting, because if I do that, I'm instantly going to lose this position to the guy behind me. My virtual mirror doesn't look that close, but when you look at the actual mirrors on the sides of the cars, when you see him back there, he looks very close. He looks much closer than 1 second. And when you look at the virtual rear view, he looks kind of far away. But it was good to realize, oh, this guy is much closer than I'm expecting. So it's at this point in time where I start to kind of pick the pace back up again and start to try to push a little bit more. You can see I pushed too far. So I'm really, this entire, you know, next few laps is really just me kind of learning the new boundaries of the car, because it's no longer just at, you know, what the car can handle on track. I've got time to worry about. I've got this guy behind me to worry about, who's now clawed back another half a second. He's only, at the time of saying that, he was only, you know, 0.6. He's only 0.6 of a second behind me, and I tapped the wall. So it's starting to get very scary, and it's starting to really make an impact on me, how much of a difference pacing makes, and what that kind of risk you have to be willing to put your car at and your race at in order to hold it. So that has been a very eye-opening lesson for me to learn, and it makes me very much excited about the rest of my forward sim racing pursuits, because I think that was a very big key to learn there. And I'm sure that a lot of people listening to that thought that that was just some, you know, really basic information that, of course, you know, that they already know. But I think there's a very big difference between knowing information and experiencing it and actually being able to impart it in your practice. And so I think I've crossed a little bit of a gap with my skills. This has been a very eye-opening experience, and I'm excited to take it into the rest of my motorsports and iRacing career to move forward. But now that we've finally have pulled off a win, I'm going to now go back to focusing a little bit more on my safety rating, on my I rating, on getting my class upgraded, because I would like to have access to the VRS endurance series, as well as the I forget the name of the other endurance series, but there's the sprint race, and then there's the higher up endurance races. But I would like to have access to both of those leagues, because I think those are going to truly be the best practice for my endurance. R Factor 2 league, I'll be racing in the GEM, the Global Endurance Modding race series for the upcoming endurance season with a team. And so I really need that seat time competing against other people. I've got the time, I've got the seat time, now just getting used to the endurance aspect of racing, but now it is time for me to combine the endurance and competition sides of it. So when we see iRacing content going forward, it's going to just be safety rating improving kind of races, so I probably wouldn't expect too many videos for iRacing in the near future. If anything, chill streams where we just focus on safety and good races and solid racing with no contact. So slightly boring, but I think that's pretty awesome live stream content, because it's awesome to be able to see that live, I think, as opposed to watching a video of someone trying to be very calm live. I think in a video, in a pre-recorded context. So I'm looking very much forward to that. In addition to that, of course, the live streams of the endurance races, whether it be the Fun League or, like I'm saying, for the GEM stuff. The GEM stuff is going to be once a month starting in August, so that's going to have a pretty big focus going forward. But in addition to that, Race Room has been added to my sim racing catalog. I'm really looking forward to diving more into Race Room. I'm really liking the AI side of Race Room. I haven't really fully delved into the multiplayer racing side of Race Room, because every time I look for races, they're not populated, and I know that it must just be the time that I look, because I'm usually looking late at night, and so I'm assuming it's just with the times and time zones conflicting. But I have yet to find actual races. No, let me take that back. I did find one race. I did compete in one race for Race Room, but aside from that, it's really more of an AI experience right now, and so I'm excited to dive deeper into that going forward. And F1 2021 has been actually a bit of a shocker for me. It's a huge improvement based upon where it was. So, of course, the things like Breaking Point, my team, stuff like that are going to trickle in. Probably a first impressions video will make its way to the channel before much of that really gets underway. But beyond that, I'm really going to focus on when it comes to iRacing, I'm really going to be focusing on getting upgraded. So there's the content will probably be skipped until we get into Class C or B, and we actually get to some exciting endurance iRacing kind of stuff. I'm excited to get into the more fun cars of iRacing. This USF2000, I've not outgrown it in the sense of my skills, but I believe to have outgrown it in the sense of its excitement and its funness qualities. And also, it's not a car that is featured much outside of this existence in sim racing. So it's not something that, if it was a Formula V, for example, that's something that I am going to, even though it's in a rookie league car, that's something I'm going to continue to race and to continue to explore, because it's so much fun. And it's a common car that has, made its way across through multiple sims, so your experience in one kind of transfers to the other. But this USF2000 is a little bit of an oddity. I've really only seen it in iRacing, and right here I thought my race was completely over. I thought it was completely ruined, but going to the white flag after getting off course, you can see me grab the chest. I was freaking out, actually heart pounding right at this point in time, but I know I have 10 seconds to car number 2, so I'm going to take it easy, bring it home. But yeah, I have Been excited to bring this video to you guys. The race only happened last night, a few hours ago, I think 12 hours ago. But I've not been I've felt this one coming, so to say, and I don't mean I was like, okay, I am gonna win this race. Oh, I've got that feeling. I just mean that I have gone too far. I went too far in iRacing without getting the success, and I wanted it. I could taste it, and I knew that I was eventually going to make it happen. So it's nice to finally have, the first victory in the car that caused me so much frustration for so long. So I feel like I can kind of close the chapter on the USF2000, focus on other cars, focus on BMW GT4 probably until I can get my license upgraded, the Formula V for some fun as well. But beyond that, guys, I really do appreciate you guys watching and sharing in this victory moment. Let me know if you guys have any insight onto the things that I have been talking about. Maybe you have some deeper experience that you can share. But I am going to conclude this video here at this point in time. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I really do appreciate a like. Goes a long way if you are interested. And thanks just for taking part of this moment with me. Looking forward to more victories. This is only the beginning, I hope.